You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. All right, folks, we have been looking at stories not only here in the United States, but also across the diaspora. And what's been happening in Haiti for quite some time has been lots of unrest that's been taking place there. You've had critics of the new president there as well. Now, check this out. You've had 3 members of Congress, including Congressman Gregory Meeks of New York, who released a letter on yesterday criticizing what they term as the creation of an extra-constitutional domestic intelligence force in Haiti. This is what they wrote. His latest actions are reminiscent of past anti-democratic abuses the Haitian people have endured, including the run-up to the Duvalier dictatorship. We will not stand idly by while Haiti devolves into chaos. Joining us right now is His Excellency Bocchit Edmond, Haiti's ambassador to the United States. Ambassador Edmond, I'm sort of glad to have you on the show. What do you make of these members of Congress who are critical of this intelligence agency being created in Haiti, them saying that you have an autocrat who is the leader of your country?
Thanks, Roland, for having me on your show tonight. First of all, it is unfortunate to see that's the way they understand it. But we do understand their concerns, and then we are open to talk to them. And as I did last month in November, I sent a letter to those 3 congressmen explaining the situation in Haiti and with detailed plans and of what the government intends to do for next year in 2021, which is going to be an electoral year. So I take their concerns very seriously. And then I believe I'll be talking to them. That's why I'm here, to talk to them and engage them in a frank dialogue and to clarify things.
But when you look at this letter that they wrote, this is what they also said. I'm reading here from my iPad. We will work urgently with the incoming Biden administration to develop a U.S. policy that prioritizes the rights and aspirations of the Haitian people and supports a credible Haitian-led transition back to democratic order. Is there democratic order in Haiti?
Of course there is a democratic order because there was a president that was elected in 2017 for 5 years. His term ends in February 2022. I don't know what is the definition of democratic order, but the only thing I know, a transition government is not the democratic order. So therefore, there is only one thing we can do as international partners with Haiti, is to have, to encourage the dialogue between Haitians, politicians, and for them to find a solution for themselves, for the country. But this kind of remedies, I don't think it will work for our democracy, and we have seen it already. It has created a lot of damages to our system. Therefore, it is very important to foster that democratic order that exists and strengthen it through electoral process. And this is what we do intend to do.
There are critics of this current government. There are people who say this government is harming citizens, killing Haitian Americans, killing Haitians as well. And so how do you respond to individuals who are in the United States who are also from there, who say that what they are seeing in Haiti simply must be stopped, and they're asking the United States to actually step in and intervene? And of course, the U.S. has a long history, complicated history when it comes to Haiti. And so how do you respond to that?
I will only respond to say that it is unfortunate the way they are reading the situation, because I repeat again, that's why I'm here, and I will continue to engage them in a frank dialogue, because when you say this government is killing people, I don't think it's right, because you do have a U.S. embassy there, and I'm sure there is no way a U.S. embassy and even any international community members in Haiti would accept something like that. Certainly there was something happen last year in 2019, but We know that it was a result of gang battles for turf control. That happens in any country, a lot of country that happens, gang battles. We have a very big issues with guns, and I believe the United States certainly will be very useful in helping us out to get rid of those guns. But saying those things, I don't think it's relevant. We want to concentrate on next year, 2021, which is going to be electoral year, on working in constitutional reform to have a new constitution, and then to have elections to have a new legislative body, and a new president will be sworn in February 2022. This is what we are working now.
I am looking at a piece here in the Miami Herald by Monique Kleska. She is a former United Nations official. This is what she writes about President Moïse's years in office. She says they've never been characterized by respect for the will of his people, protecting them from kidnappings, gang rapes, and massacres. But the spectacular horror of recent kidnappings, the high-profile assassination of a constitutional lawyer, repeated police brutality against peaceful protesters, the publication of an avalanche of illegal presidential decrees, redacting a new constitution by unconstitutional means, and giving extrajudicial powers to a new intelligence agency are ignominious acts that signal his intent on creating an autocratic state, saying the United States has also allowed that to happen. What has been the relationship of Haiti with President Trump and his administration, and what are you looking to do with the incoming administration of President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris?
This is once again, this is the beauty of democracy, because whenever there was a project, there was something, a new initiative going on, everybody can, we do not, intend to get everybody on board. Certainly there will be disagreement, there will be dissent, but the most important thing is, if you look at the last poll, 87% of the population believe that the new constitution is very important to have, because the current one has been a real source of instability. But when it comes to the Trump administration, we certainly had a good relationship with working with any U.S. administration. And when it comes to the incoming administration, Vice President and President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris, we certainly wish them the best. And Haiti is willing to work with our international partners, and we'll be more than happy to engage with a frank dialogue and see how they can help this country moving forward, not falling back what the efforts have been done. So therefore, we are ready to work with the new administration and move things and strengthen this relationship.
How do you respond to the United States sanctioning three men cited in the 2018 La Saline massacre? This took place on International Human Rights Day on December 10th. Does Haiti disagree with the sanctioning of these three men?
No, we do not disagree. As a matter of fact, those men were sanctioned by the Haitian government first, because they were terminated, they were separated from the function, and then by the president. And now there is a legal process, a judicial process going on. I believe their case are before the judge, investigative judge, and the executive cannot interfere in that. But the most important thing, we did it before. The president fired them, and they're no longer at the post. It's been more than a year since they were separated. Therefore, we welcome that sanctions. I mean, we don't have anything at all against that.
Just a couple more questions for you, and I'm curious. When we talk about the rebuilding of the Haitian economy, you still are trying to, frankly, rebuild this country after the devastating earthquake that took place as well. How would you assess the current condition when it comes to living conditions, when it comes to food, when it comes to the economy of Haiti?
Listen, it is not a very good situation at all, because we understand that a country like Haiti cannot progress without any foreign direct investment. But unfortunately, it comes back again to the current constitution, because there is a constant political instability. And most of those, the reason of those instabilities is due to the governance. And we understand that we need to have a very stable political environment for the foreign investors to come. So there is no way we can, from our own resources, to better our national economy. It has to be a factor of foreign direct investment, but it doesn't come with political stability. But this is one of the reasons that we are concentrating on this new constitution, and to see if the people will agree with it. And then once the people agree or disagree, we will continue forward for the elections, because we need to have a parliament in place by next year, and early in 2022 in February, we'll have a new president in place. This is what we are working on now.
Last question for you. What would you, if you had to ask of one thing from President-elect Joe Biden and VP-elect Kamala Harris, what is it that you want from the United States to assist Haiti? What do you want? What do you need?
It's not what we want, what we would like to see. We would like to see the two oldest republics in the Western Hemisphere, Haiti and the United States, for the United States to consider us as a real partner, because we are a partner. And then to not only see Haiti probably in the lens of humanitarian assistance, but as well to see Haiti as a very opportunity land where foreign investment and American investors can come and invest, because we do have a lot of opportunities and potentialities. We just want to unleash them. But to unleash them, we cannot do it without foreign investment. And that's where we count on the United States to come and invest and to help us strengthen our democratic system, not to call on weakening it, because we believe Haiti has to go forward, and we need the help of our international partners. But we're here to work with you and to engage the congressmen and the U.S. administration. And so we will continue to work on our national interests. And I believe a stable Haiti will be best for even U.S. national security.
So I got to ask one more question. If you want an investment, how will investors know the investment is safe if they believe there's too much unrest and you don't have democratic rule in Haiti? I mean, how do you foster people to get them to understand, to accept this, if they believe that, frankly, there's too much turmoil in the streets and too much turmoil in government?
Yeah, that's where comes the national dialogue. We believe it's very important for our politicians to sit together and to have a frank dialogue and discuss the main interests of the Haitian people. And because the reason of those unrest, of those things, is always those are consequences of political instability. Most of the time, there are some misunderstanding between parties. But we understand that there is a willingness from the president to have a frank dialogue with the opposition parties, and so we can have a national agenda where we will put the national interests in the forefront and to discuss them and see how we can have a stable country. And certainly that will come up with the foreign direct investment, and we badly need, because our national economy cannot and will not be better without foreign direct investment. We have to have it, but to have it, we have to sit together and solve our own issues.
All right, Ambassador Edmond, we surely appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
It's been a pleasure to be with you, Roland. Happy holidays and stay safe.
Folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans
Contributing $50 each for the whole year, you can make this possible. Roland Martin, Unfiltered.com.